Yes. Okay, YouTube is working too. Let me check in my channel. What is... I see it here. Is it working or not? I see it here. Yes, perfect. Is it working or not? It's working well. I have so many stories, but I've been talking about human spirit attachments, and I have really very interesting stories. I have one that is very tough, but I will let you know. I have this client that came about 2 years ago or a little longer, and he had a spirit attachment. We did 3 sessions, and there wasn't any change, according to him. And he has the same symptoms, extreme fatigue, and many other things. I saw this person once in a while. When I moved here, I did another session. I want to tell you that I'm going to have an interview, so I'm going to stop talking, and the interview is on the phone. And about 8 months ago, he told me things about his life. And one of the things that he shared, that he was divorced, and he was dating at least 2 women at a time. And then I suggested to him about 7-8 months ago and he was having, I need to say SEX, otherwise the video will be censored, almost every day. And I told him, you don't have energies because you are wasting your vital energy. Just choose one woman and no more than once a week. He couldn't do it. A couple of weeks ago, he sent me a text. He was in a desperate state. I did a scanning. I found that he had another entity or a spirit attachment. And I did a session, and I told him why. I told you what you have to do. You need to control your sexual energy. You are wasting your time, your energy. This is the reason you don't have any energy. But about 6 months ago, he confessed to me that with his obsession with sex, he started watching pornography, he started watching homosexual pornography. He ended up having sex with men, with gay. But why? Not because he wanted to have that, because the obsession was so overwhelming, and the spirits takes over our mind, our feelings, our moods, and he started experimenting and start having sex with men when he's not gay. Well, his condition is very precarious. I don't even know how he's still alive. And he thinks that his problem is parasite, the external things. What happens is when we don't have energy, we waste our vital energy, our SEX energy. Our body doesn't have energy to keep us alive and healthy. It's just like that. So I met him a few days ago at the beach. And he doesn't understand, and this is the only problem that he has. So the SEX energy, I think just a few minutes, 5 minutes within the video I can say the word. The sexual energy is very precious, and for men takes a lot of energy to produce. If we waste our sexual energy, we start getting weak, our immune system doesn't work, and we can have literally any health condition, sickness, especially weakness. we need to be able to control our sexual energy. And that stupidity to start watching pornography and then end up having sex with anyone, with men, women, and whatever, and having 2, 3 partners at a time, is going to kill you. Well, this is very, very real. And now, why this man is so prompt, or entity spirits can get attached to him so easily? Because he doesn't have energy. It's as simple as that. It's very easy to control the sexual energy. It requires some willpower. One method is to take a cold shower, especially very cold water on the genitals. But this is temporary. The other, the other is this: breathe very deeply, 20 to 30 times. When you just breathe 10 times, you start feeling that the sexual energy is leaving the genitals and going to the body. Do it at night if you are on bed and start being aroused. Do it at any time. And do an effort, and you will see how your life will improve. For all of you men who wants to be attracted to women, there is nothing that attracts women the most than the energy that we have, because we control our sexual energy. And then he tells me, well, I cannot have a romantic relationship if I don't have sex. Well, tell your partner to be controlled until you get healthy again. It's as simple as that. I don't see any comments, any questions. Again, I am waiting for this, how is it called? Online radio box to call me over the phone. So, we have a lot of sexual abuse, rapes, and things like that. Why? Because men cannot control the sexual energy, but mainly because they have entities. They have spirits controlling their mind, their thinking, their actions, their reactions, and their mood. When I check with people that I know, women has been abused, all these men always had an entity. So we need to avoid that. Avoid drinking. I have another person that one day she tells me, oh, Carlos, I have depression again. I know her, I check her, and he had an entity. And the first thing that came to my mind, she was in a bar drinking. And some other person confirmed to me that she was drinking, she was doing stupid things in the bar, and she couldn't drive home that night because she was drunk. And when we are drunk, or when we do drugs, our energy field shrinks. And these entities, the energy field is not there anymore to protect us. There is a book, Return from Tomorrow. It's a very short book. I recommend that to you. And the story is like that. This man, drafted in the Second World War, in a very cold place here in America. They were in training to be sent to Europe. He gets sick, pneumonia, something like that, and he dies. But he leaves the body he didn't know at the beginning, and he's in a spirit roaming around. He went back to his town, and all of a sudden, a spirit, he sees a light next to him, is guiding him to different places. And this spirit takes him to a bar where there were civilians and military men, navies, all drinking, and he said, I thought that the fraternity's drinking was the worst. This was way more than that. And there was this man, young man, and he saw that there were spirits and living people. The living people, we have an aureole. He calls the aureole, or the aura that we call. Okay, they are calling me, I think. Let me see. This is Carlos, may I help you?
Hey there, Carlos. My name is Phil from Meet You Lead Podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right, glad to hear that. So yeah, Carlos, I'm going to be interviewing you today.
Fantastic.
All right. Let me just confirm some of your information quick, and we'll do the show together.
All right.
All right. So you're Carlos Caradat, and looks like your company here is Healing for This Century.
Yes.
All right, and you're based out of Torrance, California.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Carlos. So I'm going to start up the show here in a minute, and you're going to hear my intro bumper first, followed by me introducing you to the show. We'll do the show together. I'll ask you these questions, and once we're done, I'm going to play that same bumper to end the show.
What was your name?
It's Phil, P-H-I-L.
P-H. Ah.
Phil, or
Phil.
I guess Felipe in Spanish.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Phil.
Okay. All right. So, Carlos, are you ready to do the show?
Of course.
All right. Hold on 1 second, and you're going to hear that intro. Don't touch that mouse. You are listening to Meet the Elite Podcast, where we bring business professionals together to promote their businesses and products to the world. Keep it right here. Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Phil, and my next guest here today is Carlos Caracat, and he owns his company called Healing for This Century, and they're based out of Torrance, California. How you doing today, Carlos?
I am doing great.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. So, Carlos, can you tell us more about Healing for This Century and what it is you offer here?
Well, in reality, the name, the company is not it's not the most important thing. We healers are here to help people to remove energy blockages, to remove toxic energies that are accumulated from stress, emotional trauma, and things like that. So I call it healing for this century. Actually, it's important because nowadays, when we are conscious that we are not just a physical body, we have an energy body, we have a consciousness body, feel 95% of the health conditions in this planet have a root cause on the energy blockages that we have. A broken heart, energy blockages on the solar plexus that affects our self-esteem, energy blockages on the second chakra that the people have when they have those energy blockages, anxiety, extreme anxiety. The combination of these energy blockages, you could feel panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, depression, things like that. So this is the reason I call it healing for this century.
Gotcha. Okay. And how long have you been in business for?
How do I do that?
No, how long have you been in business?
Oh, how long? Over 15 years.
Gotcha. All right. And so you were talking about how you help people remove their energy blockages. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. For the listeners, go to my YouTube channel. You can find it just by searching Reiki Carlos. I have a video where I explain everything in detail. But in general, the video is called Healing from the Inside Out. When we have a stress, we have emotional traumas, that is a toxic energy. And that accumulates in our energy centers or chakras. And it's literally like a cloud of a poisonous gas inside of our body. This is why when we have a broken heart, we feel many times like somebody stabbed a knife in the middle of our chest. Or we have this pain out of the blue. Headaches are an energetic thing, unless, of course, we have a concussion or we hit our head. So when we have these energy blockages, they start literally dissolving part of our bodies. Men who get angry, our liver is affected. Women, when they have frustration in the romantic relationships and anger, the gallbladder is affected. Then the ovaries, then the uterus, and they have endometriosis and an enormous amount of bleeding during the menstruation, and then the ovaries. And I have one of my clients and students, she didn't have 4 of those organs. Literally for 6 years plus of very traumatic, unhealthy romantic relationship. So, as an energy healing, I use a pendulum. It's an intuitive work to find energy blockages. And then during the process of the healing, the client lays down on a massage table. We place our hands there are 13 basic positions, but mainly on the heart chakra, solar plexus, and second chakra. And by placing the hands, the energy that is not our energy, is the energy that I like to call it the divine consciousness that flow through us, flow through the client, and those energy blockages are removed. It's as simple as that, but it's effective. In my YouTube channel, I have over 600 videos, probably 200 in Spanish. I have thousands, literally, of reviews. And they attest that after the session, the pain went away, the anxiety went away, the chronic fatigue. I have 2 suicidal clients, and they are kicking alive and well right now.
All right, I got it. And Carlos, we're just about out of time here, but how do our listeners reach out to you and talk to you more and contact you?
Well, my main website is Reiki Energy Healing LA for Los Angeles.org, but the easiest way is to Google, no, I don't use Google anymore because they are corrupted. Search for Carlos Reiki Torrance or Reiki Torrance, but Carlos Reiki Torrance, you will find I am first in Google Map, in Yelp, and my websites and videos. This is the easiest way, Carlos Reiki Torrance.
All right. Well, Carlos, thank you again so much for joining us on the show and telling us more about what you do.
All right. You're welcome. That's all?
That's it. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
Okay. Thank you. You too. Bye, Phil.
Right,
thank you.
The rest of our listeners, stay right there. We'll be right back after the short commercial break.
Don't touch that mouse. You are listening to Meet the Elite Podcast, where we bring business professionals together to promote their businesses and products to the world.
I don't know if this guy will come back. Okay, he left. All right, no more. So I was talking about this book, Return from Tomorrow, and what I was saying that he was in spirit. He died temporarily because he returned to the body later, and the spirit, this very bright spirit, was guiding him, and he realized that there were people without the aura, which is a thin faded light around the body, and only alive people like you and me that we have a physical body had that light or aura. The spirits that didn't have disembodied spirit, that didn't have a physical body, didn't have that light. So this particular young man was very drunk, stands up, and he saw that there was one particular spirit, this disembodied spirit, looking at him. And 2 other men helped this young man, and this man fell down because he was literally drunk. And in the moment that he's falling down, he said that from the crown chakra, he said the top of the head, there was this light or aura part from the top down the spine, open, and the other spirit immediately, with a speed that he has never seen in his life, entered the body of that person. This is a spirit possession. I help people removing these spirits all the time. All the time. There is not even 1 week that I don't have 1 or 2 clients or more, usually with 1 spirit attachment. Some have 2. Some are from this lifetime, like the story that I just told you, this attachment that the spirit went inside, and the energy and the consciousness of the spirit is merged with the energy and the consciousness of that person in that body. There are 2 spirits in 1 body, and that energy and consciousness is controlling that person. When that happens, the sexual abuse occurs, murders, and all these calamities of the world. I've been analyzing this for a long, long time. People who don't have a spirit attachment won't do those terrible things. I analyze every single of them, even serial murders, serial rapists, serial whatever, killers and things like that. So they are controlled by a spirit. All right, this is all for today. I should have, let me see, it's 20 minutes. I will try to do these videos more often, and I see you around. And if you have any question, you can write the question below the video and I will answer. Bye everybody.